Hey guys, I'm Mezzy, and today we'll be going over the mechanics of Nullaeus, the Midnight Season 1 Nemesis boss challenge delve. You can find the entrance to the delve Torment's Rise to the east of Howling Ridge at coordinates 6171. This guide is based on PTR testing hours before it went live. If there are any changes on live, I'll note them in the pinned comment below. Just like previous delve bosses, it has two difficulty levels, Tier 8 and Tier 11. The first level is unlocked by completing a Tier 7 delve with lives remaining, and the second with a Tier 10 delve. In this video I will primarily cover the Tier 8 mechanics, but I'll make a note of the initial changes on Tier 11. This is because at the moment of recording the ranged interrupt cooldown is too long to deal with the frequency of must interrupt casts. If it turns out there are more big Tier 11 changes when I can verify it myself, I will make a second video covering Tier 11. Without further ado, let's get into it. To start with, and most importantly, interrupt the emptiness of the void cast. This currently gets cast about every 20 seconds again after the first cast, meaning that ranged specs will not always be able to interrupt this. Instead, on Tier 8, use immunities or damage reduction cooldowns on casts you can't interrupt to survive the cast. For me, that meant my interrupt rotation was interrupt, turtle, interrupt, damage reduction, interrupt, etc, etc. Next, when Devouring Essence is cast, if you're not using Healer Valeera, dispel the dot off of yourself. At 75, 50, and 25% health, the boss will become immune, summon adds, and add a new mechanic to the fight. Of course, always kill the adds. At 75% health, 2 Razor Shell Ravagers will spawn that will jump around and put bleed dots on you. Of course, don't stand in the circles. Additionally, lines of Null Zone will start to wash over the arena. Don't stand in these. At 50%, a group of spitting ticks will spawn that will start putting a stacking dot on you. Additionally, a void hole orb will spawn that will float around the room. Stay away from it as it will suck you in. Lastly, at 25% health, an enslaved void caster will spawn which will cast spells continuously. You can interrupt it at the start, but remember, you'll need your interrupt again for when Nullaeus reactivates. So you'll mostly have to run out of the circles and heal through the casts. At the last 25% health, he does not add a new mechanic. Once you kill the adds or the boss finishes his Empower Void Orb cast, Nullaeus will start attacking again and you can continue the fight. And those are the abilities, it's not a complex fight. In terms of Valeera customizations, for the Curios I use the Porcelain Blade tip and the Overflowing Void Spire Curios to increase my damage throughout the fight. Alright, moving on to Tier 11. There's a couple of initial changes I can mention, but it might not be all, and I'll cover it in a future video if necessary. To start off, for the ranged among us, damage reductions won't let you survive the emptiness of the void cast. It absolutely must be interrupted, so let's hope the frequency of the cast gets adjusted fast. Secondly, the encounter timeline indicates there should be an imploding strike ability that currently does not get cast. It might just be damage, or it might require a specific way of dealing with it. Again, if it's nothing big, I'll put it down in the pinned comment below. Next, thanks to another PTR tester for confirming this, the null zone lines move over the arena a lot faster, so you have less time to react. Lastly, on Tier 11, Nullaeus will get a stacking Umbral Rage buff which increases his damage, meaning you'll need more and more health to survive his attacks as the fight goes on. You'll definitely need gear to survive the auto attacks. And that's it. Tier 8 is very doable. I did it on the PTR when the season went live with item level 244. Tier 11, which seems as it is an unfortunate tradition, will need at least one fix. Good luck! If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. I would really appreciate it as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you'd like to support me more, you can also follow me over on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Twitch, all at BBMezzy. And lastly, I also have a community Discord linked in the description. For now, I'm Mezzy, and I'll see you again next time.